This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Tonight's topic, what's good in the hood? Okay, now here's what we know. Boston, Massachusetts, consists of several very diverse neighborhoods. Now, all the residents that reside in these neighborhoods have a story to tell about the places that they dwell. Some accounts speak of heaven, whereas others speak of hell. Depending on both the places and the people, some of these stories don't always end well. Now, as for me, I grew up in the heart of the bricks, where some people sold drugs and others turned tricks. And if things got thick and they needed money quick, everyone around them could be subjected to a lick. Now, some people went to school in pursuit of an education in hopes to better their situation, where others got it out the mud with no hesitation. Now, I know this sounds a lot like a verse to a rap song, but this is yet a chapter in my life. Welcome to my world. Real struggle, real strife. All right, let's get to it.
Hey,
Patsy,
gangsta.
where you from?
Boston.
What part of Boston?
From Dorchester.
Okay. Born and raised?
Yep.
Okay. Duchess, where you from?
Boston, Mass.
What part?
The Pan. How about that?
Okay, Murder Pan. All right. Tanya, where you from?
Cambridge?
Born and raised?
No.
Okay. So where you from?
You want where I was born and raised?
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay. Sean, where you from?
Dorchester, Mass.
Born and raised?
Yes, sir.
Okay. G, where you from?
I'm from the town, the whole damn city. I'm from Drugchester.
Born and raised?
Dang.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm. Tanya?
Did you say Dorchester or Drug Tester?
He said Drugchester.
Oh, I thought my ears were clean.
Mm-hmm. Tanya, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was born in Ohio, but I was raised in Louisville, Boston, Cambridge. Well, I was an adult when I was in Cambridge, but yeah, I was born in Ohio, but I was raised in Louisville and Boston and
Okay.
Ohio.
Okay. Robert, where you from?
Should I say Boston, Massachusetts?
Okay. What part?
The dungeon.
All right. Can I assume, or is it safe to assume that everybody is from the urban area, no matter where they're from, urban hoods, urban communities, Black communities? Is everyone in attendance from that type of dwellings?
Dorchester is the suburbs.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I did some urban and some suburbs.
Okay, I was about to ask you what part of Dorchester you from, calling this suburbs.
I lived in
Right.
April for a
The
couple of
Pawtucket
years.
Milton, maybe, but that's about it.
And that's
Um,
starting
yes,
slightly
you are
better.
mostly correct.
Okay. So, all
You
right.
got a mixture, Dave.
All right.
Yeah,
So that's, go ahead.
but there's like I don't know everybody else. I have family in the suburbs, so I didn't spend all my time in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But everybody has some type of link to the urban community that's currently on this panel, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So these questions should be pretty much easy for you guys to answer.
I hope so because I live far away now.
Yes, I know. All
He
right.
said he lived where? Far.
Far away, far away.
Oh my
His,
God.
his existence, his mental existence, it's
He's in
beyond.
Kansas somewhere.
Yeah. All right.
Waltham is not far.
Let's get to
Hey, hey.
let's get to the first questions. All right. First question: has a lack of unity diminished the value of the Black community? Let's go to Kiana first.
Can you repeat that raggedy ass question?
Has a lack of unity diminished the value of the Black community?
Nothing can diminish us. So
Amen.
no, the lack of unity makes us not go as far as we could go, but nothing diminishes us. Nothing, nobody, what they say, what they do. You can't you
Yeah.
can't diminish that invaluable property.
Mm. Hey, coming right out the gate.
Like that.
Sean, what do you say? Does a lack of unity diminish the value of the Black community?
Agree with my sister. Absolutely not. We we know how to thrive, even when society has our foot on our neck. Hell, to keep it to your question, even if we weren't all the way together, we still thrive.
Hmm? Like this. Patsy, what do you say? Does a lack of unity diminish the value of the Black community?
No, because there's always unity in some fashion or form. It's just not the way that most people look at it.
Okay. Rimich, what do you say?
I agree with them thus far.
Okay. That was easy. T, Tanya, what's your views?
Repeat the question.
Does a lack of unity diminish the value of the Black community?
I'm going to agree with the panel and I'm going to say what diminishes the value of the Black community is the lack of funds that goes into the Black community as far as our living status is concerned. The building, like we make do with what we have, and we make it feel like it's $1,000,000 even though it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But what the how can I say, the powers that be, what they take away from the community, or the lack that they put in the community, is what takes away the, what was that word you used?
Value.
The value. Yes.
Okay.
If y'all know what I mean when I'm talking about property wise and
Mhm.
what's there for the people.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. G, what do you say?
I agree with the panel. Nothing can diminish our value, but there is a more of a what do you call it? Selfishness in our community now. If you're talking about lack of unity,
Yeah. Talk about black.
selfishness and selflessness.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have a rebuttal? Okay. That was easy. Question number 2. How does the absence of a black man affect both his family and his community? I'm gonna start with the black men. Gregory?
Tremendously. And I think that's by design. I think that goes along with the turning the families against it, the Willie Lynch letters. The turning the mother and father against each other, the child against the mother and father, and father against the father and mother against the child. That way they can break up the families and control you as an individual because they want to feel like we're still cattle.
Brimage? How does the absence of a black man destroy, should I say, affect both the family and community?
Without a father figure in a home, and I mean not just in one home, and probably all the homes in that community, it becomes a lack of respect for the women. They never find or learn the quality, um, in talking to a lady. They don't respect their mom. They probably ain't respecting their sister, their first girlfriend, lack of respect. Probably treat them like trash because there was no man there to really show them true love towards a woman. You know, second, the men, if they're all in a home, real men respectfully is taking care of their household. They're going out their home, going to work, and doing other things to be a provider for their household. So if all the men was in there doing exactly those things that a real man do, their children, their young sons growing up will follow.
All right. Sean? How does the absence of a black man affect both his family and community?
Hmm. Um, I would say their absence, considering that they want to be um, contributing factors in the community and in their family, is very powerful. Um, I'm kind of torn with this question because I'm trying to answer it the way that you're asking it, but what keeps thriving in me is us using the fatherless, uh, the absence of fathers is like what's destroying our communities and our families, and we have been an intergenerational group of people since existence. So to keep using that as a narrative, I don't think that it destroys families and communities per se. I think that men not standing up and doing what they're supposed to do is what's destroying our families
Yes.
and our communities.
Yes. So I'm gonna answer this question too. So how does the absence of a black man affect both the family and community? It's detrimental to everybody involved in every sense of the question because it strikes a crippling blow to the family dynamic because let's step out from the whole definition of being a father. You got to be a man first before you do anything else. So, like Sean said earlier, every man, every black man should be able to step up to the plate and fill the void where there is an absentee man. be it the brother, the uncle, the grandfather, the father, did I say brother? A friend of the family. Everybody should be able to step up and fill that void. Black men everywhere. You should be able to. Women should be able to turn to any of their black male peers and be able to ask for assistance. They should be able to. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to lead. If we go back to biblical reference, God made man first. So it's our first responsibility to take care of everything that he blessed us with, including the woman, and then an extension, the family, and everything else that comes with it. So yeah, it's vital that a black man is present within their family and community, because again, like Robert said, it that man teaches these children, both male and female, how to navigate their community. They also provide protection for everybody involved. And again, most of all, that man teaches that boy how to become a man. The vital lessons are taught at the hand, the footstool of that male presence. So again, so that I don't be long-winded, it's vital to both the family and the community's existence in a sense. Ladies, Patsy, how does the absence of a man affect both the family and community?
Showing how to be respectful towards each other and how a man should teach their children not just to respect their mother, but to show them what a good man looks like, um what a father figure looks like. Um um Being a provider, being, helpful towards um the household. If mom needed something to be done and he was there to help out after work, even if it's 10, 20 minutes to doing something around the house. Oh, well, what do you need? You need a break? Okay, well, let me take these kids and go and give them a bath, and then tell them a bedtime story before they go to bed. And or if there's any homework to be done, let me see about their homework. Let me look over it, see what they're doing, and if they need help, if I can help them with their homework, let me do that. And you go take 10, 15 minutes to yourself. Just simple little things.
Okay.
And this kind of helps them to help all the other kids at school, the kids that had the father.
Well said, well said. Tanya, what's your perspective?
I'm gonna agree with what you and Sean said on what you said on the biblical sense, and what Sean said on us being an intergenerational family to begin with. Where it comes into play where the man is being separated from the houses, because when we're all together, we were a community that helped one another. And you could see that with Black Wall Street. But when they saw how us being a unit and being together, how we can flourish and build and create a sustainable community and society, that's when the laws came into place where they started targeting the men to take the men out of the household, to cause the men to be taken away from the families. you know, selling off the men, selling off the women and children when they were slaves to break us apart. We get back together. They do the Black Wall Street thing, come together as a community. Then you got the systemic laws that go into place where they're targeting the man to take the man away from the household. Now the women got to step into the men places. The men's are not around to teach the young boys how to be men, and the women are having to divert their attention. They can't focus so much on the ladies, on the young girls. It leaves them susceptible to being molested and things like that, taken advantage of. So that's how everything gets broken down.
Okay, love it. Does it, Kiana?
Did that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. I like the way you broke it down. Kiana,
Yes.
so you want the question again, or you got it?
No, can you repeat it, please?
How does the absence of the Black man affect both the family and community?
Well, this narrative that Black fathers are not involved with their children is just that, a narrative. Um, Studies have shown that we have the most involved fathers as far as racial makeup that are involved. How does the lack? Well, I guess the same thing can be said about anything. If you don't see somebody doing it, it's hard for you to do it. So if you don't see a man and how he behaves, how he moves, then as a son, you can't replicate that. And as a daughter, you lack that, so you look for it elsewhere. So that's how it can be detrimental. But we're going to kill this narrative because it's not true.
Okay. Does anybody have a rebuttal? Anything else to add? All right. Let's go to question number 3. Question number 3. Why are the majority of the businesses in the Black community owned and operated by foreigners? Kiana, I'm going to start with you.
Give me for a second.
Okay, Patsy, I'll start with you. Question number 3. Why are the majority of the businesses in the Black communities owned and operated by foreigners?
I think because they do try to work for it, they some of it's like a legal thing once they come in the country. Someone was telling me they can't take like the subsidies that we have as American people, like can't get on food stamps, do this and do that. They actually got to get a legitimate job, work for it, and a lot of times they figure out how to, once they get in the system of doing different jobs, they're able to actually apply for businesses and stuff like this, and um they really happy at it. But as Americans, we're really not given that opportunity. We are given that opportunity, but it's not advertised as much or pushed out there, given the information that's given to some of these foreigners that actually come in and they inquire about different job opportunities, different business opportunities. Um, but I think as Americans, we're not just not given that information, we're not acquiring the information. So Like we look at other people that are from other countries, like, oh, they're taking our jobs. But what are you doing to find out about business loans, this and that, and da 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 da? That's part of the reason why a lot of not just jobs, but the businesses are being owned by foreigners because they're actually being given the information more excessive, um, I can't even think of the word, like
Accessibility.
more easily than what we're given the opportunity to find out about all these businesses to actually own and run.
Okay. Sean, what's your perspective?
Um, I like all of what Patsy said. It's they thrive, foreigners thrive in our communities because we're considered the low income. So when they come here, they're already a lot of times what we never say on here is that some of these um, uh, communities, meaning the foreign, you said foreigners, some of them come here with a little bit of change in their pocket as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they get together and pool it all together, it's easier for them to, well, it seems like it's easier for them to be able to buy property and businesses and start up their businesses in our communities because we're considered the low income areas. And so it's easy to thrive in low income areas when you're actually building off of it.
Okay. Got more?
I think that's good.
Okay. Uh, Tanya, question number 3. Why are the majority of the black businesses, why the majority of the businesses in the black community owned and operated by foreigners? Tanya?
Um, come back to me because I just got back on here. I went to the bathroom.
No worries, no worries. Gregory, what do you say? What's your perspective?
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. These people are put in position of power when they come over here, and they're told not to mix and mingle with your community like that. So them being in your neighborhood is a double slap in the face because they're not even there to give back to your community. They're there to take from your community as much as they can until their family's right. But with the people coming in right now, they're a priority to certain people. So you got these people coming in and they're getting these um fucking $2,000 a month visas and stuff and all this crazy stuff that these people are getting that they don't, like I told you, they treat us like existing Americans, they treat us like existing cell phone customers. They have nothing new for you, but they have all things new for the new people coming in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Robert?
Um, I ain't gonna even touch that. I guess the panel handle that, but I'll give you a fun fact. 82.0% of white America own U.S. businesses with employees.
Okay. Timmy, welcome. 1 second, Timmy. Kiana, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So the question is, question number 3. Why are the majority of the businesses in the black community owned and operated by foreigners?
It's by design.
Mm-hmm.
Foreigners, whatever you want to say, a lot of times they're even given government assistance because of their country's backing, or who they are, where they come from. So, and banks are more likely to let them give them loans.
Mm-hmm.
We are denied loans.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, I can't. I didn't look up the percentage, but our community is denied more loans. And like I said before last week, when it comes to even um being given equity in our companies, we get like, I don't know, 8%. So nobody's trying to invest in us purposely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. That's so that certain individuals can make statements like that we're lazy, we don't have any like aspirations of doing more than what we've been doing. You know, that's the narrative basically. We 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 don't want more than what we have. So we're not worth investing in. Yeah, I agree with you totally.
And
Uh
and
go ahead.
also can I add that
Yeah.
that is also what is it called? Playing checkers. I mean, playing chess instead of playing checkers. Because if I get you to align with me, I can use you against other people when it's at my benefit. But
That's
best
right.
believe you will turn around and be used and dropped like trash when they don't need you.
That's right. Timmy, question number 3. Why are the majority of the businesses in the Black communities owned and operated by foreigners?
Is what Kiana said. It's just what she said. They cater to them, and like she also said, if they hire a black person, it's only one, and you got to, like she said, they use you until they don't need you anymore. Then they'll discard you like your trash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready, Dave.
And they
All
got
right, T.
dominant areas, y'all, for certain people. So when these people are coming in, it's not like they're coming into nothing. They're coming into a Chinatown or a little Somalia area or a goddamn little Haiti area, or all Africans live around here, or all Chinese people live around. Y'all know what's going on with these, so they can get their friends and stuff in, and then they're owning the businesses. Like you said, when you go to the black neighborhood, you're gonna see a goddamn Habibi in your store, in your liquor store, probably as a Spanish person. You get what I'm saying? So it's no type of unity or community in our community. You get what I'm saying? Because you're in the urban neighborhood, but it's not a little African American.
Mm-hmm. Tanya,
I'm
what?
gonna I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say I agree with what Kiana said, because it is all by design. They want to keep us separated, and furthermore, they still have that we're not people aspect in their minds about us as blacks. They still look at us as subhuman, from back in the slavery time with that 1/3, 1/8. What was it? 1/8.
She has left the meeting.
One drop
One
of
eighth.
black blood.
One
One
drop
No,
Negro
one,
blood,
one eighth,
No,
1%.
I mean,
we're one eighth of a
how they
human.
put us in the Constitution, how they looked at us as human beings. They
One
don't look
one
at us.
eighth of a human.
Yes, yes. And so that's part of it. And the other part is that when they see that when we do have community, how we thrive as a community. When we had the black banks, when we had the black stores, when we had our black communities flourishing, when we had the Black Wall Street, they saw how we was flourishing at that time,
She has joined
and
the
they
meeting.
know that our dollars is a lot of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So if we came together as a community, if they want to keep us separated so that we don't become like-minded and come together as a community, because then it's outpacing them. The elites really would be in trouble.
Mm-hmm. I want to go back to something that Gregory said earlier when he said, when the foreigners come here and they establish a foothold, they carve out a private little community of their own.
Mm-hmm.
I so Gregory says, and they tell them not to mix in
We got
with
black families that can't even do that.
when they tell us they tell them not to mix and mingle with us. Preferably, they are talking about black foreigners. So that is so they can say, well, we're not discriminating because we give black people opportunities, but they're not black people that were born and raised here in America. They
Right.
are foreign people from that are black foreigners, basically. So they give them the opportunities that we basically, in some cases, are begging for. You know, we jump through hoops to just get a a meeting with them to
And
present
as Peter
our
and Paul
business
think the resume.
proposals. Yeah, so again, I agree with Kiana. It is by design. But I would say this to all the black foreigners, be careful. Be careful about, what you do. Because I also notice they're quick to disassociate with us too. But anytime you talk about reparations or what benefits should be given to black people, then they want to be lumped in with us then so that they can receive further benefits and opportunities. And we need to pay attention to that too, because we need to somehow exercise a higher level of unity every day, all day, as opposed to, sometime. But the fact that we do it at half the capacity, imagine if we gave 100% at unity. Imagine if we put our money together, like you said, that these foreigners do, and and the ones that are already established become backing, and they vouch for their fellow Black Americans. Maybe we can go back to Black communities of our own that are thriving, that have thriving businesses, and that basically presents some generational wealth for the youth, the next generation. But I digress. Does anybody else have anything else to add? Okay. Well, let's go to question number 4. Kiana, I'm gonna start with you on this one. This is a good one. Question number 4. Does redlining present, does redlining prevent Black people from purchasing homes in their community, or does it simply delay the process? Duchess?
I heard you. Redlining keeps us in one community. It doesn't allow us to venture out of that community. So technically, we could purchase in our community, but again, we deny more loans. Um, so what was the rest of the question?
Um, does it delay the buying process? Like, does it delay them from purchasing the homes right away?
Well, if you keep people um in a state of robbing Peter to pay Paul, they don't really have the opportunity to buy. Like, take for instance how gas is more expensive in urban areas versus non-urban areas.
Yes, man.
So if I'm paying, I don't know, right now it's like $3.79 now. I don't know. I've seen some people paying like 4 something or whatever, or even in California they're paying 5. So if I'm paying now like $2 to $3 in gas, my savings is very is is less than it would be, which doesn't create opportunities to purchase. So it's like a seven-edged sword.
Okay. Gregory, what do you say?
Yeah, I agree with Kiana. It's all designed to keep us back.
But
How we say we move the goal, they move the goalposts on us all the time. So it's definitely some form of we're gonna keep you guys stuck in this area.
Hmm. Okay.
but
Patsy, go ahead.
I was gonna say not only keeping us stuck in the area, but then coming in and gentrifying the area and raising the rents and everything.
Exactly, to get you out at this point. Now they're trying to turn you into something that you're not.
Mhm.
Homeless.
Not even to get us out. You can't even afford the rent that you can't even go out because they don't give you no loans to be able to um to be able to take care to be able to buy outside or even to rent outside. It's still going to be high. It's still going to be racism going on.
Mm-hmm.
So you stuck between a rock and a hard place.
We're gonna we're gonna get to that question definitely. Uh, what you guys are discussing now. Uh, Tanya, you want to answer that question, or do you want to what you just said? Do you
I
want that?
think what I just said would be
All
suffice. You
right,
can go to the next person.
Patsy, what do you say? Does redlining prevent Black people from purchasing homes within their communities, or does it delay the process?
I think it's a little. That answer would be a combination. It it does delay buying in the neighborhood, and then with that delay, it kind of prevents them from buying within the neighborhood, or if there's a particular house in the neighborhood, and like then you look at two or three different houses, and you like one particular, and at the top of that list, and then that one's denied, so you're being able to have, well, not being able to, but you kind of forced into buying something that's like either a second or third choice
Mm-hmm.
on your list. And it could be out your the neighborhood that you're actually looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a combination. It's not one versus the other, it's both.
Okay. Um, Duchess, you still with us?
Yes, and I wanted to add something.
Yeah, and yeah, before you do, let me ask something of you too. Before I go on to Timmy, let you ask something, but I'm gonna ask you to do something in return. Um, State your rebuttal, but then could you please get us a definition for redlining?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Um, so it was not a rebuttal. It was a um I guess an amendment to what I said as well.
Uh-huh.
So not only do we are we denied loans, and when it comes to redlining, basically can only own in certain areas, that when we do have homes and we sell them, they're devalued. So we
Mm,
lose out on hundreds of millions of dollars in um, assets.
mm.
So, like I said, it's a seven-edged sword.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna come back to you for that definition. Timmy, same question. Question number 4. Does redlining prevent Black people from purchasing homes within their community, or does it delay the process?
Of course it does. And what's happening now is that you got corporate coming in and buying lots, and they throwing up condominiums and whatnot, you know, and you watch Good Time when they was buying their first house, they got caught in the red line and they was tearing down the houses around the house that they was gonna get. That whole block was getting torn down so they could build a damn mall.
Mm, okay. Patsy, did I ask you this question? Does redlining?
Yeah, I answered it already, hon.
Okay. Tanya. Oh yeah, I said Tanya already answered it too.
Mm-hmm.
Sean.
I'm gonna go with what Patsy said. It's a combination of both because what ends up happening is with the redlining, you're kind of restricted to an area, and if you can't afford to move out of that area into somewhere different, then that's what you're subject to. So it is sort of it's designed to keep you pigeonholed, if you will. And and when the redlining happens, that also allows private lenders and companies to come in and buy up any and everything that we can't afford now all of a sudden.
Mm,
So then that's when the real issues come in as far as keeping their foot on our necks, if you will.
mm, mm.
And doesn't it affect the voting in some way too when they start
Oh,
redrawing
definitely,
the maps?
definitely,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, because you now lose what was the term they use, like seats, if you will. You start losing representation
Mm-hmm.
because now where you have, and I hope I'm saying this right, where you have the different, state representatives of District 4, 3, 2, 1, this, that, and the other. Now they move you out.
Mm-hmm.
They take away districts.
Mm-hmm.
So you no longer, so now the voice of that group of people no longer exists, if you will, because they done took that seat, that representation away.
Mm-hmm. What was once great becomes minute. The
Mm-hmm.
majority is quickly reduced to the minority. Yeah, that's crazy. Keith, you got that definition?
Pretty much Sean said it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have the
All right, hold
definition.
on, Keith. Robin, hit that answer.
Oh well, I'm just gonna agree with everyone on here. But I will say it was designed so purpose to affect black communities. The mortgage lenders, that was all a scheme to either keep you from buying, um, even if you was qualified or not qualified, and if you was qualified, they probably charge you a higher rate anyway.
Okay. Kiana, go ahead and
Perfect.
you have something to
Okay.
add, Sean?
No, I was just agreeing with what Robert said. That was perfectly said.
Okay. Kiana, go ahead and educate the viewers as well as the panel.
Okay, according to Cornell Law School, redlining can be defined as discriminatory practice that consists of the systematic denial of services such as mortgages,
Mm,
insurance loans, and
mm,
other financial services to residents of a certain area based on their race or ethnicity.
mm,
Redlining disregards individuals' qualifications and
mm,
credit worthiness
Mm.
to refuse such services solely based on the residency of those individuals in minority neighborhoods, which were also quite often deemed hazardous or dangerous.
mm.
Boom.
Yep. That's a mic drop for you. So again, they asked last week when we discussed the the racial wealth gap, there lies the answer. That's the
And that
reason
takes
why
in
right there.
that takes in effect the crime and everything in the area.
Yes, yes. Y'all
Yep.
create these problems.
Poverty.
Yes, you create these problems. Like I said before, these are these traps that you set to ensnare the members of the black community. That's what you do. So then you can create these stereotypes and create this narrative where they can't do this and they can't do that. Well, they can't because, like Sean said, y'all are constantly got your foot on their neck. No pun intended.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
So not only does it include banking, but it also can withhold more important and essential services such as construction of grocery stores and
Mm-hmm.
supermarkets, or even withholding healthcare services. So it's not just financial, it's health.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, y'all, these mother effers, they've been hard at work for a long time. Long time. And if we do not understand the jargon, the language that they use and stuff, you're gonna be lost. You're gonna be lost if you don't fully understand the definitions of these words that they're using, these terms and stuff. But I digress. Let's go to question number 5. Tanya, we're gonna start with you because you alluded to this. Question number 5. How does gentrification affect the inhabitants of the black communities? So again, how does gentrification affect the inhabitants of the black communities?
It makes it more expensive for them to live where they are.
Mm,
It makes it more expensive. If they try to move out, all the other things go into play. With the how Kiana put it, they got their little insider notations of higher loan rates, and you don't get no loans, you can't get this, you can't get that, and it's inside, it's systemic.
mm-hmm. Gregory, what do you say? How does gentrification affect the inhabitants of the black community?
I agree with Tonya because once those values of everything starts going up around these areas where these people probably been living forever, they might even have a family house or something. Now, her your family's property tax is going up, and goddamn mortgage is going up, and the family can't hold on to something that granny done fucking got for her whole life. You get what I'm saying? So when you start getting people to mix, and not even just that, the dynamic of you don't know your neighbor now. Your neighbor comes and you can't even live the lifestyle that you was already living because now your neighbor's calling the cops on you every day or something. You get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
It affects
Sean?
the community.
Mm-hmm. Same question, Sean.
Yeah, Gregory hit it all on the head and all the way around. Um, I mean, it just destroys. Um, I'm gonna go deep with it. It almost destroys the moral and not moral, the psychological compass of
Mm-hmm.
your being because you get so angry at what's going on around you that sometimes we don't focus on how can we change this.
Hmm. it
Judges? Go ahead, T.
I was just gonna say it affects the community all the way around, because now, because they're gentrifying and buying up buildings and things, you probably taken away places where the kids used to go and play at. They done took that and made and built something there. An after school program could have been here. They done took that over because they can't afford the rent and moved that out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Judges?
Yes, it pushes communities it pushes people out of the communities that they
No.
that they know, that they've been a part of for generations, and now um, you can't afford to live where you've been living for your family's been living all your life, plus your parents' lives and their parents' lives, and now you no longer can afford to be there because rents are higher, stores are more expensive. Um, as Gregory said, now you can't sit outside because people are complaining. Um, they act like you don't belong here, but you're like, I've been here forever. Who are you?
Mhm.
Um, so, and then also when people have to move out, like we said before, it changes voting because a block of people are no longer represented because they're scattered all over the place, and their voice is no longer a powerful voice because they're mixed in, they're one drop of chocolate in the milk.
Yeah. Brevich, what do you say?
They said it.
Okay, you easy tonight. Patsy, what do you say? How does gentrification affect the inhabitants of the Black community?
Pretty much everybody said everything that needs to be said because it's all right there. It's the the voting rights, the districts, um, the representations, even the schoolings are affected by it because it's like all these other things where you're either can't afford it, then you have to move, and you still can't afford where you're going, and the neighborhood isn't the same kind of neighborhood you were once a part of, and then the representation, the schooling, it's not the same type of schooling and education and everything. So everything kind of drops down, you know?
And let's add how inconvenient everything will become because now you getting pushed out, and when you getting pushed out, you don't have the same access to the things that you had when you was in the city.
Mm-hmm. You
Mm-hmm.
might have to have a car, and what if you don't have your license?
Mm-hmm. Timmy, how does gentrification affect the inhabitants of the Black community?
I agree with the panel.
Okay. All right, guys, we're at the halfway point. Let me go ahead and pay these bills. Tonight's episode of the Still a Man podcast is sponsored by EmporiumPlus.org. Remember, guys, EmporiumPlus.org is an online store. If you can't find what you are looking for in this store, then you are not shopping in the right store. Robbie, before you tell all the people what they can find Emporium Plus in EmporiumPlus.org, let me go ahead and spotlight a shirt or two. So let's go ahead and spotlight the shirt. Black America, we do it for the culture. Mm-hmm. And also let's spotlight the other shirt that is entitled Get in Line or Get Left Behind. All right, Robbie, tell people what they can find in EmporiumPlus.org, the type of brands and type of clothing.
People, come on over to our hood where we have white streets and black sidewalks. You will find at EmporiumPlus.org, the hood of EmporiumPlus.org, fashions in all brands. And be forever still a man. You, sir, SOS support our sisters. Adapto Paris Ladies First. Some merch in EmporiumPlus.org. And for our subscribers, keep on watching our videos. We appreciate you. Spam a comment, smash a like. For those who haven't yet subscribed, subscribe. and spam a comment, smash a like, and take your shoes off when you walk in our hood.
Oh, Lord.
So translation, he don't want you tracking anything outside, inside. All right, I get it. I'm telling you, I'm with you. All right, let's go to question number 6. Before we go to question number 6, does anybody else have anything to add? Okay. All right, let's go to question number 6. Question number 6. How does profiling influence the policing of those that reside within the Black community? Let's see who should take this first. Gregory.
It's no different than the slavery times, right? Where they sent a patrol officer around and he was basically getting them people in line that wasn't working right to the way that they seen that they wanted you to be working. For you to even have to be working in general, you get what I'm saying? So he's there to make sure that your ass is working in this community the way that I want you to keep it. Like when they come and they frisk you, they're doing their job for making Black people feel like they're supposed to be criminals. You get what I'm saying? It could be a group of kids. They profile them. They was going to the movies, but this isn't even a gang, but it's probably 4 or 5 of them, and they're getting profiled. They're all gonna get We're gonna post all of them. Now they feel bad anyways because it's just a feeling. It's an aura that comes off of that, especially when you grow up playing something like cops and robbers. You get what I'm saying? You could have been innocent kids, but this is stuff that kids do. You get what I'm saying? So when you grow up into that, it definitely scars you with this. It scars your neighborhood regardless. You're thinking you're gonna be profiled.
Patsy, same question. How does profiling influence the policing of those that reside within the Black community?
It affects the way you think about police. Like they out to get us anyways. You know, yeah. And I agree with Gregory, It makes you're playing cops and robbers and y'all are profiling each other because that's what you see the police doing.
Timmy, same question. How does profiling influence the policing of those that reside within the Black community?
Well, I disagree with that cops and robbers thing because we watched that on programs, different programs, SWAT, the old TV show SWAT. That was about cops, the SWAT team going after terrorists, bank robbers, and all that stuff. So we always had cops and robbers on TV, and us emulating it when we was outside playing. That's all that was. So, but far as if they have, see what they did was put these gun hole uh Caucasian white folks in the Black community because they're so eager to come down and show that you're not as tough and you're not as dangerous and we're more dangerous than you are because we got a badge and we got a license to kill you niggas. But that's what the problem is. Now, if you put Black cops out in the suburbs, they ain't doing none of the wild shit that these white cops are doing in the neighborhood in the city. They're not doing none of that stuff out there. They you know they patrolling doing their work out there, but it's not as wild as it is down here and so like I say, they now the blacks that go to the suburbs, they know what it is and what it is and being in the neighborhood. And so some of them are cowardly. They don't want to be a part of the community. So they want to be working out in the suburbs. But the ones who actually want to make a difference, them are the ones that stay. But the ones that are the cowards, they always try to get out. And then those are the people that they target, the powers of be. They target them people right there because they talking down upon the community.
Hmm.
So they rather put those people in power, which I would call a pick me nigga.
Okay. Robert, same question. How does profiling influence the policing of those that reside within the Black community?
I I don't understand that.
All right, go to someone else and perhaps they could make some sense of it for you. Tanya, same question. How does profiling influence the policing of those that reside within the Black community?
I think it has to do with their mindset, because it doesn't matter if you black, white, or Puerto Rican. It depends on the cop's mindset, where they at, as to how they're profiling, because you can have black cops profiling black people. I don't think it necessarily has to do with racism. I think it has to do with where the cop's mindset is at.
Okay.
I like her answer.
So you just gonna uh climb aboard. All right, piggyback. All right. Sean, what's your
Yeah,
perspective?
yeah, I like Tanya's answers. It's definitely the mindset of the cop, but what it also does is it almost gives them justification to act that way. Um,
Yes.
and so, that's yeah. I'll leave it at that. It just gives them that excuse and that right to move that way because they could use the environment and their surroundings as
Mm-hmm.
leverage, if you will, as a
Mm-hmm.
reason to move
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because they done already lumped us into a community, a category, all that.
Um, Kiana, what do you say, beloved?
Can you repeat the question?
Um, how does profiling influence the policing of those that reside within the Black community?
Oh, I mean, if everybody fits the character of a suspect, it can be problematic, and basically, if we all look alike, um, then we're all suspects. So that brings a problem to over policing in our communities. And I kind of agree with Tanya as well. I mean, there is a lot of racial aspects in it, and especially depending on what state and city you're in. Some of them don't have the you know, uh some of them operate like the Wild Wild West, and others don't.
Hmm.
But I also think that a person's mindset And even like everybody else, you got problems at home, you can take that out on on the person who you feel is a suspect. And again, if your department doesn't, they're a look away kind of department, as long as it don't go federal, you could do whatever you want, Johnny. Then you got people acting indiscriminatory, like they can do whatever to whomever whenever they want.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to object to what you guys say to an extent. Whereas you're saying that it doesn't have much to do. Well, I think you said it has a little to do with racism.
I
I think
did.
it.
I said it has
I,
a lot to do.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So I definitely think it has a lot to do with race because it's preconditioning. It's preconditioning of the public servants. You again, you make them believe that anything and everything that they do is right as long as they do it to the people of that community that fit a certain profile. It's preconditioning of the Black individuals that reside within the Black communities because they are subjected to that profiling based upon their race. So I don't think the white occupants or residents of the Black communities endure the same levels of profiling. I don't think they do that because they're not targeted. So I don't think that there's going to be a question if they come home late at night and they are standing on their doorsteps putting the key in their door if there's going to be a question. I don't think there's going to be a question if a white resident is sitting on their porch in the wee hours of the morning drinking coffee and be accused of let's say suspicious behavior. I don't think if a white person was seen cooking in their backyard or coming out their backyard, there'll be a question if they live there or not. Again, I think it has everything to do with race. You send these people out there as a constant reminder. If you don't know your place, well, we're here to remind you and tell you what your place is. And it's anywhere it's you belong here and nowhere else. And because you belong here, because you reside within here, we're going to treat you as such because we have a right to do, because we have the authority to do so. So I go back to what Gregory said. It is a sense of the overseer again, where they put you there to kind of keep these people in line. And let's just say the other residents that happen to be of outside races, outside the Black races, the people of color, again, you might be subjected to it in the manner that your property value might go down based upon stereotypes and all the other stuff that they put on the Black community. So that's the way they might be affected. But if they hang out long enough, they'll benefit from it because when gentrification sets in, if they want to move and they sell their homes, we already determined that they're going to be offered a higher price than what, let's say, Miss Mabel that lives across the street or next door to her got probably her property probably looks a whole lot better, but because she's a person of color and the profiling and stuff that goes on, she's not going to be offered the same thing. So those other people, they can move out and they don't have to be subjected to it. But the other people, they live there, so they have to be subjected to it on a daily basis. So it's like you don't have much of a choice. You can't. The color of your skin is not a uniform. You don't get to don it and discard it at the end of the day. That's not how it works. So that's my opinion. Does anybody got a rebuttal or any objection to what I said? Okay. Um, let's go to question number 7. Keon, this is a good one for you. I'm gonna let you start with this one. Um, how does genocide affect the Black community? overall? How does genocide affect the Black community overall?
You said genocide?
Yes, sir. Well,
Did you
yes,
just call
ma'am.
me sir? I'm about
Yes,
to
ma'am.
say, let's
Yes,
get
ma'am.
it together.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
I mean, when you kill multiple people of a community, it affects the community. It affects what the the state of that community, the well-being of that community, of the stability of that community, and even the mobilization of that community. So if you don't have, I don't know, if you have 500 people and you killed half of them, that's half the people who could be moving a community forward, and they're
Mhm.
no longer there to do that, and the people who are left behind um have trauma on top of whatever else is going on in their lives to deal with.
Mm. I like it. Come out the gates firing. Timmy, how does genocide affect the Black community overall? Patsy?
I think that what Kiana said was on the head, definitely. Uh but see, I keep on hearing we too, as a community, we turn our heads to certain things, and then of course everybody now, if your kid's doing something wrong to somebody else, like breaking in the house, you going to stick up for them, or you going to turn them into the cop. Now, back in the days, a lot of people would have turned their damn kids in to the police, but now they don't want to turn their kids in because they're afraid what's going to happen to their kids when they turn them over, you know. And so a lot of people in the community just, turn the other cheek when things happen until it happens to them. Now they want everybody else to come and inform and find out. But you turned the other cheek when things was happening long. So that's where the division has come in too, because people don't want to take responsibility for their kids' action, you know, and they when they know their kids in the wrong, and instead of fixing it by you know having that kid work some type of a plan or something, agreement with the people that they did wrong. That's what I think has to be happening, but it's not going to happen because nobody wants to take responsibility.
Okay. Patsy, question number 7. How does genocide affect the Black community overall?
um, it affects the parents, it affects the kids, it affects um if a child sees a parent distraught over somebody that's been affected by genocide, or the kids see the parents or their neighbors, their best friend's mom or cousin or something, um, they're gonna feel some type of way. They're gonna have lower self-esteem. You know, um, But I think like if there's a good community sense of fighting together as being in unison, um, the kids are gonna grow up looking and seeing, well, this is what we got to do and be proactive about stuff, you know. Um, it can go either way in a negative or positive um way depending on the reactions to the people in that neighborhood, and especially if you're a tight knit community or not. And it can affect um the whole neighborhood in a certain way depending on your neighbors, the community, and the surrounding community, if everybody's working together or being in discord. Yeah.
Well said, well said. Robbie, what's your views?
Tell me that question again.
Question number 7, how does genocide affect the Black community overall?
Overall, I would think if it's coming in there like a killer to destroy, conquer, divide, um, it leaves that community and the title, just leaves them with a title of a community. Let's see. I'll put it this way: abysmal community.
Okay. State abysmal. Okay. Uh, Tanya, what do you say?
Repeat the question.
Question number 7. How does genocide affect the Black community overall?
Oh God, it's horrible. It's like wiping out a whole generation of people. That's their whole plan, was to wipe us out. In
Mm.
my opinion, they tried to break us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gregory, what do you say?
I want to compare it to Avatar. Um, the transatlantic slave trade messed us up so bad it goes into our minds now because we're in war mode. We're in a fight or flight, and you got people that are out here that don't know if the decisions that they're making, if they're gonna have to hurt somebody or kill somebody. And I don't mean just like going out on the streets. I mean like people getting pregnant sometimes. You get what I'm saying? Now we're out here committing genocide in this way, other than people being killed in the streets and then us killing our own babies. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it put us in this fight of flight state where it's hard to get out of.
Mm. Okay. Sean, what's your perspective?
Um, like everybody else said, genocide was designed to destroy us, to wipe us out, to keep us underfoot. Um, is it's I mean, it's been a number of things that has been put in our community that caused genocide, as far as the infiltration of drugs, different types of crimes, um, just making it hard for us, that we somewhat, like, kind of, if you will, I don't want to say actually turn on ourselves, but definitely warped our minds to think that this is the best that we can do.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna answer this one too. So, how does genocide affect the Black community overall? It traumatizes our community. It traumatizes all those that dwell within the community. It has long-term effects, and it is definitely definitely due large in part to environmental factors. And so those environmental factors pit the people within the community against one another. So we become the opposition to those close to us. And it's a form of self-hate. So, if you start to hate yourself, then you ain't gonna have no love for anybody else. That's what it basically amounts to. And then again, when you're killing off your front line, who's gonna be there to protect you? The people that you kill off may be the next chief of police that makes the necessary changes within that Black community. It may be that Black community leader that brings about the necessary changes, goes and becomes the voice that is often not heard. That person might speak louder and prouder about where they reside. Even with the females and stuff like that, those people that are subjected to losing their life and their babies due to that level of violence. Now those could be the people that could have gave birth to the person that was going to make necessary change, discover some like vaccine or something that would stop some of these let's say illnesses that plague the Black community, or that they say that plague the Black community. It could be a number of things. It's like I said, it has long-term effects.
Thank you for clearing up what I was trying to say.
All right.
That was perfect.
Okay. Well, you pass me the ball and I'll see what I can do with it. You my point guard. All right. Let's go to question number 8. I believe this is. Yeah. Y'all doing good with these questions, by the way. All right, question number 8. This is a good one. Sean, I'm gonna start with you. Is urban renewal a well-designed plan to destroy both the identity and the history of the Black community?
Oh, most definitely. Urban renewal is actually the new name for
gentrification.
There you go.
Yes.
Thank you, Sister T. Thank you,
Yes.
Sister T. Thank you. That's it.
I told you, you the point guard tonight. You setting
That's
people
it.
up and they score. Go ahead, Tanya.
That's it.
How
I
you
agree
feel
with
about it?
Sean.
All right. Timmy, what do you say? Patsy, how about you?
Um, I didn't think of it the way Sean put it, but I can agree with it. It's basically that, it's just another form of gentrification.
Okay. Robert, what do you say?
I agree.
All right. Gregory?
I agree too, yo.
All right. Duchess?
Yes.
Is urban renewal a well-designed plan to destroy both the identity and the history of the Black community?
Yes, it is. And its purpose is to disenfranchise the communities
Yes.
so that they cannot basically the plan is never to have, even though there were multiple Black Wall Streets,
Mm-hmm.
the plan is never to have that happen
Again.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree. It is a well-designed plan to basically destroy our identity and history, try to erase you, because it's another situation where you're trying to disrupt the culture. So if the people don't know where they come from, then they have nothing to refer to. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you're trying to do. And again, it's not working. It's not working. Y'all are working hard, but it's not working on everybody. It's still enough of us that know the truth, and we don't have no problem with sounding off and speaking loud and proud about being black and being proud. I mean, I'm on one tonight. You know what? Let me just go on record and say I'm proud of Black America. I'm I'm
Mhm.
I'm I'm proud of all those Black Americans that wake up every morning and they show up and they show out even when they
Excuse me.
don't feel like that they can, but they still
Mm,
do. I'm
mm.
proud of y'all. Keep up the good work. Keep up the
I,
good work.
I got a question for us.
Yep.
Do anyone know what part of Boston was the first known area that was called urban renewal?
Beacon Hill,
A little further over,
Downtown Boston.
Faneuil Hall.
Faneuil Hall, or no, or yeah.
That that Faneuil Hall was originally where we all were.
Yo,
That Faneuil Hall was considered the slums of
now,
Boston.
and that's where they have like all these little shops and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense. That makes good sense.
And then, yeah, and you know that's pretty much right next door to Little Italy of Boston.
Oh, I thought it
Every
was South
well,
End, but that's good to know.
Oh, the
all these
North
little
End and Faneuil Hall is pretty much next door to each other. The North End is just like left to from like where the Marriott at Wharf is and the aquarium. So if you go at the backside of Faneuil Hall and you take hang a left, Little Italy, the North End is right over there to your left.
now Pete move. Now Deshaun just said that too. Here's what they do, like Keon said, disenfranchise. Again, they try to uproot us, so they could say and uproot us, displace us, and but they kept the infrastructure. See, they still
Right.
kept the same setup, the little small
Mm-hmm.
shops and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then they put these other so-called respectable communities around it so they can support it and say, oh no, this is a thriving area. We have what you call it? No, what is it? North Station, that area. But what is it called again? It's Little Italy, that area around there. But
Yeah, that's the North End.
The
That's what I
North
just
End,
said. The North End.
North End, North End.
So the
Mm-hmm.
North End is right there. Then you go some ways down. Then you got Chinatown, what they also say is another respective thriving community and stuff. But not too far away from that, up on Beacon Hill, that was one of the respectable areas of Black people before you burnt them out.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Right.
Did you all also know that Dudley, the lower part of Roxbury and all that, that was originally called downtown?
Wow. Oh yeah, I did read something about that earlier. That is crazy how they moved the property lines, the territory,
Mm-hmm.
geographical lines and stuff like that.
But that's redlining
Yes.
and urban renewal.
So you don't
That's what
ever
that was.
know where you're at and they're in control.
Yeah. Wow. This is history, viewers. So y'all, if
Yeah.
don't take our word for it, go do your research and then drop a comment about what we're talking about. All right, let's
And
go.
They
Anybody?
don't want to join God's people. They want to destroy God's people.
Let the church say amen, amen, amen. All right, y'all bringing it tonight. Question number 9. This is a good one. How has both drugs and alcohol poisoned the promise of the Black community? Furthermore, is it possible to restore hope? Kiana?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yep, I will. Question number 9. How has both drugs and alcohol poisoned the promise of the Black community? Furthermore, is it possible to restore hope? And when I say the promise of the Black community, I am referring to the youth.
To the what? I'm sorry, I got some kind of message which made, you know what? I'm taking this shit off my phone.
you want me to get?
I
I give it
had
to you.
headphones on because
No worries, no worries, no worries. I'm gonna give it to you again. Question number 9. How has both drugs and alcohol poisoned the promise of the Black community? Furthermore, is it possible to restore hope?
I mean, we always have hope. I, I, I mean, of course, is again, there is no, it is not by accident that there's a liquor store on every corner,
Speak.
that drugs have been pumped into our community. Um, and again, when crack was an epidemic, it was lock them up.
Criminal.
Now that opiates are a problem, it's,
Is get
oh,
them help.
give them help.
It's a
They
sickness.
have a disease. They're sick. But where was this empathy to our community?
Because it was part of their design to pump all that
Well, of
poison into
course,
our community.
if it was twofold. It was uh to for this country to be in some other country's business, like we always are. Can't sweep in our own backyard because we're too busy freaking being in somebody else's business, and to destroy our community. If you destroy the heads of your household and you have kids who now have to go into a system,
Mhm.
and then you also pump in the uh what is it, school to prison pipeline,
Mhm.
you have a workforce that you can pay 3 cents a day or whatever the hell they pay prisoners to do, um make glasses, make license plate, whatever the hell they have them do.
Somewhat free labor.
Basically, one
The
step
new
above
cotton field.
slavery, but not really,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's legal.
Mm-hmm. The
The pris-
legal, the
the prison
legalization of
system is the
slavery.
new cotton field.
Mm-hmm. The
becomes
new, the new plantations.
a cycle. Becomes a cycle.
Mm-hmm. And we have to break it. Key, you got more?
No, we just have to be smart enough to know that there's landmines everywhere we stand, that
Mm-hmm.
there's laser beams everywhere we go,
Love
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it.
and that there's now it's facial recognition and biometrics and all this other stuff.
Woo! Designs, designs, designs. Patsy, same question.
Can you tell me the question again? I'm sorry.
Yes, I can. Question number 9. How has both drugs and alcohol poisoned the promise of the Black community? And is it possible to restore hope?
That's always hope somewhere in the mix of it. Of the poisoning of drugs and alcohol and whatever else you can poison the neighborhood with. Um, it's like you have to be consistent with each other, and especially with the children, and as adults you have to be consistent in a child's life, and work, they're saying that they say when we were growing up it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, it
We're
does.
all working together to raise these children as a village, and and being proactive with children, um and showing a better way, and by not just voicing what you're saying but showing by example, and working as a team all together.
Oh, love it, love it. Robert, same question.
Basically, Kiana made my job easy again, so I'm going to agree with her. But I'm going to say this to the generation you're speaking to. I don't know if that's the DVD generation, but just say if it was. Put a DVD in of yourself, your life. Watch it and rewind, where you unroll that spliff, put the weed back in the bag, walk backwards, give it back to the drug dealer, put your money back in your pocket. See all of this the way it was before you got hooked on their drugs. Watch you go to the liquor store and you put yourself in rewind and try something different. That's the only way it's going to change, because those liquor stores, the drug dealers are going to still be out here after their generation passes on. So the individual got to change the way they're living their life. No matter what's in front of you, don't mean you got to go reach for it.
I like that. Gregory, what do you say?
Let me get the question.
Hold on 1 second. Question number 9. How has both drugs and alcohol poisoned the promise of the Black community? And is it possible to restore hope?
Damn, you know I like to throw history references in. So the story of the drunken Indian, right? And we're really the native people, so it's a story about our people, and then you see it still going on. Why you think they put an alcohol store on every corner in the neighborhood? And to get to the drug part, you heard what Tupac said. They got a war on drugs so the police can bother me. And you better start thinking Donald Trump, because now the war on drugs is actually aimed towards the people that are actually bringing in the drugs. You get what I'm saying? So we're coming down to something different that's going on right now.
Okay. Tanya, what do you say?
I'm gonna say I agree with Kiana, and I'm gonna say that the government is who started bringing in the drugs from the Vietnam War, where they brought all the what they call it on the street, the what is that?
LSD back then?
No, not LSD. It's what they got hooked on, what the soldiers got hooked on over there. That
Heroin.
heroin. Yes, thank you, Dave. The heroin. They brought the heroin in
Or
and
they did
flood
more than that to them.
and
They dropped
flood.
a gay
Let
bomb
me
on.
finish and flooded it into the community. Which caused more devastation. It went from the heroin to the cocaine to the fentanyl,
Crack.
and the war that's going on now. The drug of use, the drug of choice is the oil that they
Mm,
trying to take over and sending our young men to their death.
mm. Okay. All right.
That's
Sean?
that's destroying the community, the youth. That's what the youth of today. That's the drug they got to look forward to. War.
Mm.
Mm.
Sean,
Uh,
same question.
can you give me the question again, please?
Yep. Question number 9. How has both drugs and alcohol poisoned the promise of the Black community? Furthermore, is it possible to restore hope?
Um, how has it? Oof. It's twofold, I guess, because we look at it on one aspect as how it destroys individuals, has destroyed families, and this and that and the other. And then the other side of it is the people that have been lucrative off of it, meaning that, yeah, we say that, the government or the white man brought it in and this and that and the other. But with some of our intelligence we've been able to monopolize on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like everything else.
Yeah. So that's why I say that it's twofold. I mean, at the end of the day, it does destroy. The bottom line is it does destroy one way or the other. But I mean, yeah. I'll just stick with what everyone else has said because that's on point. But that's my little 2 cents on
All
that.
right. So did everybody get a chance to answer that question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, can I add on to it a little
Yes, you
bit?
can. Yes, you can.
I mean, if you keep a people inebriated, they don't think clearly. They
Mm-hmm.
won't come together. They won't see what you're doing, and so you can continue to be the puppeteer of the puppets.
That's good, Kiana.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's good.
Um, let's see. We on the last question, ladies and gentlemen. Question number
We
10.
can't see them stealing us, raping us of all the funds, all of our resources.
Okay. Question number 10. Question number 10. Should it be mandatory for community leaders to reside within the communities that they are elected to represent so that they can relate to the needs of the people? Patsy, what do you say?
I think so. I think they at least half of their term, if not longer, or to be a prerequisite that they had to have
Yes.
been living in that neighborhood so they can actually see and know what's going on, who the people are in that particular neighborhood, and have conversations, interactions, and see what's truly going on in that neighborhood, whether there's closing of certain stores, or there's a particular store or community center, or community resources being taken away from that particular community, like the Dart House being having the pool closed because they claim it's a funding issue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this way they can actually see and know what's going on, and even if they after a little while they move out of the neighborhood, they have to interact with community centers in particular, whether it's the Dot House, V8, or whatever it is in that certain community, given the dynamics, whether it's a black, predominantly black community center or Polish or whatever, they have to know what's going on in each community and visit all the centers around that area, whether it's Dorchester, South Boston, Mattapan, Roxbury, whatever. They have to be mandated not just to live in there in that neighborhood for a while, for a certain period of time, but um, at least once or twice a week visit certain centers so that they know what the needs are for that center and what resources that they could help raise and make sure that it's being pursued, that funding for everything in every way is put there,
Well
so
said.
that way not only um for everybody in the community, young, old, and middle age, So everybody is benefited by you being there as their representative.
Well said, well said. Gregory, same question.
Can I get the question again?
Should it be mandatory for community leaders to reside within the communities that they are elected to represent so that they can relate to the needs of the people?
Hell yes. Especially if you're being a senator or a mayor. This is one of my PowerPoints for the police too, making their system better. It should be mandatory for you to have lived or grown up in this area or lived there for a certain amount of time. Because how could you know what these people need in this community and you're not a part of this community? You can't come from fucking a whole different state and then come over here and think you're about to fix things over here because you're just this great person. But you never even lived it. You never experienced what it felt like to be a person that lived here. So how are you coming over here to lead us? It's crazy.
All right, like it. Robert, what do you say?
Yeah, I basically agree. I think that they definitely need to reside in the community so they can experience all what the community is experiencing, see it with their own eyes, hear it with their own ears, taste the quality of food, sniff the marijuana in the air. Whatever you're doing, you know how we're living because you're there with us.
Hmm, okay. Timmy, are you still with us?
Yeah,
All right, same question. Should it be mandatory for community leaders to reside within the communities that they are elected to represent so that they can relate to the needs of the people?
of course. That's why I liked it about Mayor Menino. He lived in Hyde Park. You know, he
Yes,
was
sir.
in
Right across the street
he
from my school.
he lived in the hood, so he know what it took to build the neighborhoods back up. And it was fortunately that he passed, but he was one of the good mayors of my time for sure. And you know, and that's what my problem is with pastors and stuff. If you ain't really in the hood and you live outside the hood and you coming in and trying to change things, but you don't really know what's going on because you don't live there and you don't interact. You all you getting is a report from people who actually lived in the damn neighborhood. And then if they're giving you a report, who's to say you listening to their report that they giving you?
Well said, well said. Tanya, what's your perspective?
I think that they should live in the neighborhood that they represent. But and if they don't live in the neighborhood that they represent, I think it should be mandatory that they have regular town hall meetings on a regular basis, and that they do annual reports to the people for any projects that they say they're going to get off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and they need to report if they taking any dark money.
Mm, okay.
It
Sean?
should be mandatory, not optional, mandatory.
Okay. Sean, same
Yeah,
question.
yeah, I'm with the panel. I think it should be mandatory. I think they should live in the district or the city or the community that they supposed to represent. I mean, if it's like that for the police and the fire department, why can't it be like that for the people that actually uh, make governs us?
Okay. Love it. Duchess, what's your perspective?
All right. Menino did not live in the hood, but okay. He lived in the city. He didn't live in the hood. I do think I agree with everyone. I do think it's mandatory, but our current mayor lives in the hood and
Yep.
she don't know what the hell's going on with the people because she is all about
She's not
not
really from
actual
here.
residents of this community. So
Hmm.
I'm not her fan. So she's lived here and I don't know how many years. So I mean, I think she even went to school here. So
Hmm.
that doesn't necessarily mean that a person will have the community's best interests at heart.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
Marty lived over here for Dot Ave.
You got more?
Well, then I stand corrected. Maybe he did live in the hood, but he moved to High Park, and where he lived is not. It is a nice area.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
I'm not talking about Monino. I'm talking about Marty Walsh. Marty Walsh lived right
yeah.
over here next to St. Gregory.
Well, he's an exception to the rule. I didn't like him either, so I don't have a fondness for our last few mayors. So
Cindy Wu is from Whoville. She didn't grow up here.
she's from California,
She's
I
from
know, but I think she
California.
went to college here and
Yeah,
she's
yeah, she
lived
went to
here for
school here.
some years.
Even
So
that, California hates Massachusetts. Who would allow this? You know,
first of all, well,
come over and rule our
if
states.
I mean, if we want to be things, she didn't have anyone to run against her. I mean, her
Oh, okay, glass top, yeah.
competition dropped out. So, um, please don't get me started
It's
about this
like getting a
woman.
New York resident to come over here and be our governor or our
Well, I
mayor.
mean, the problem
Crazy.
is too many people, like we said, you're not from here. You can never make
Mm-hmm.
Boston, California. First of all, our weather is totally opposite. We get 3 good months out the year, and we
Yeah.
have terrible weather most of the time. And I feel like whoever's in office now who agreed with turning a bunch of streets that are two lanes into one lane is very chaotic. I don't even think that they even put plan for emergencies, or like we have these potholes that are swimming lakes. They could be campgrounds right now. I mean, it's please. I'm
Go to
trying to
Florida
have a good
where you
day.
can have bike lanes.
Mm.
The bike lanes are stupid, and even the bikes that they have, like, why are you taking up parking spaces? Do not get me started about how excise tax pays for the streets to be fixed. I don't know what a damn bike uh payment is paying for except to rent a bike. I know they're not paying no taxes. I know they're not doing anything else. Again, please don't get me started. I'm trying to have my blood pressure be low today.
Well, let me see if
Please,
I
Lord,
can let
please.
me see if I can help you out. So I'm gonna answer this question too. Um, should it be mandatory for our community, our leaders to reside within the communities that they are elected to represent? Uh, yes. That's a hell yes, because I don't think better representation. I don't think that no one can better represent the community uh better than those that live within the community, because you endure everything that those around you are enduring on a daily basis if you live here. And if you was born and raised here in these communities, then you want to bring about the necessary change what is needed, because again, you endured everything that everybody else around you endured to a certain extent. Now, I have a big problem with people that make decisions about people and things that have absolutely no impact on their decisions and don't have no impact on them. Their decisions don't have any impact on them, but they're making decisions about people, residents, that they don't know and they don't care to know in some situations. So I have a big problem with that. We don't have the proper representation when we don't have the right people representing us at these meetings and stuff like that. So again, when they start to let's use the metaphor of the pie. when they start to cut it up and hand out slices, for some reason the Black communities are serving is always lesser than those in other so-called prominent affluent communities. The urban communities always get crumbs, as opposed to the suburban communities. So again, if you are not like us, you can't represent us. I mean, someone can tell you, can give you a pamphlet or give you a report, like Timmy said, about the people that reside in there and their needs. But if you don't experience their hardship, then I don't really think you have the level of empathy that is needed to make these decisions. Again, I don't think your voice is going to be loud enough or proud enough when it comes to representing us. But again, I digress. Should it
We're
be
just gonna put the buses in the middle of your streets.
Yes, it should be mandatory. If you're going to represent the Black community, you should first lived in the community or been raised in the community or currently live within the communities that you represent. All right. Again, Black people, I salute you. Keep up the good work because we got a lot to do. God bless y'all.
Welcome to the Still a Man platform, where real conversations leads to real growth. Every Monday, step into Man in the Mirror, a platform where people come to share their journey, their past, their present, and the future. Real stories, real reflections, and real transformation. On Tuesdays, tap into the heart of the conversation with Still a Man podcast, honest talk, raw truth, and the kind of realness most people are afraid to dig into. And every Wednesday, ease into the middle of your week with Wind Down Wednesday, your space to reset, release, and recharge. 3 shows, 3 experiences, 1 platform built on truth, growth, and connection. Support the movement, subscribe, share, and stay tuned. Mondays, Man in the Mirror. Tuesdays, Still a Man podcast. Wednesdays, Wind Down Wednesday. This is the Still a Man platform. Real talk, real life, real people.